The all-new Viltrox 55mm f1.8 EVO is on the left, and the Makey 55mm f1.8 Pro lens that I reviewed last year is on the right, and I will let you suit yourself which one you think looks sharper. But in short, the Viltrox is going to cost you $370 USD versus the Makey at $250. Now, the Viltrox definitely has noticeably better build quality, and it features the specialized APO design. And honestly, I think this might be the most pro lens you can actually get for under $400 right now. But the real question we need to answer today is whether it's actually worth paying over $100 more for this over the Makey. So let's see. And just for the sake of full transparency, Viltrox did send this out to me to review, but there's no money changing hands for my opinion. So before we get into the images, we have to talk about the build, because Viltrox has seriously stepped up their game with the materials they're using here. It's beautiful mix of that metal and high quality composite that feels incredibly solid in the hand without being a brick. And they've included a proper rubber gasket at the mount for weather sealing, but layout is identical to the 35mm EVO, same 58mm filter thread, same smooth focus ring and an aperture ring that feels super premium. Plus, you get a physical click-declick switch, which is a lifesaver for hybrid shooters. They even tucked a USB-C port onto the mount for firmware updates, and the close focusing distance is around 0.43 meters, so you can actually get surprisingly close to your subject for some nice detail shots without lens hunting for focus. Let's get into the pixel peeping, because this is where the APO design really starts to shine. And I wanted to start with this old door because the amount of texture here is just insane. If you look at the center, the micro contrast in the wood grain is incredibly sharp. But what's even more impressive is when we move to the corners. Most budget lenses fall apart, but the EVO stays remarkably clean and consistent. Then we move to a real-world portrait of Sophia, and you can see how it handles skin tones and fine details like eyelashes. It has this surgical sharpness, but the background blur still looks really natural and creamy. I also grabbed some quick shots on the door decorations, with this tram passing by, and even some plants to check the center sharpness. And in every single scenario, the contrast was just punchy and alive in a way that Makey 55mm struggled a little bit, especially when it came to the chromatic aberration, which is basically non-existent on this Viltrox. Now for the autofocus, I wanted to really stress test it, so we did two different things for photos. But before we see that, I've got to show you the biggest upgrade to my studio lately, these motorized shades from SmartWings. If you are a creator, you know the struggle that 1 minute the sun is killing your contrast, the next it's too dark. But now I can fix my lighting without even getting out of my chair. I went with this blackout fabric, totally killed those reflections for my gear reviews, but they have over 200 styles, so you can actually match your space perfectly. And they're custom made to the millimeter. They're whisper quiet, and you can even get those little solar panels, so you literally never have to charge them. If you want to level up your home or your workspace, hit the link in the description, and once you have these, you'll wonder how you ever lived without them, because I certainly do wonder how I can live without them. Let's close this thing now. Okay, back to autofocus. First was a standard portrait session with Sophia where the eye autofocus was just sticky and never missed a beat. But then I had her walk directly towards the camera while I was firing off a high-speed burst. Even with her moving and the depth of field being so thin at f1.8, the hit rate was basically 99%. It just stayed locked onto the eye on the entire time. For video, I had her do some easy dancing and movement just so, to see how the STM motor handles the transitions, and it is whisper quiet and very organic. It doesn't have that robotic jitter that some cheaper lenses have. It feels very intentional and smooth, making it a great option if you're also a solo creator or a vlogger who needs to trust the autofocus while you are in front of the lens. And at the end of the day, Viltrox didn't just make another 50-ish millimeter lens. They made a statement with this EVO lens. It's built like a tank. The APO optics are generally top tier, and the fact that it matches the 35 and 85 millimeters so perfectly makes it a no-brainer for anyone building a professional kit on a budget. I will leave you with Sophia dancing. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of the lens in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.
You've been lying, saying that I took away your peace. Drowning by yourself, now you wanna blame me. Like you have no options. I ain't take your options. Now I'm not the problem, man, that's on you.